Welcome to Product Chronicles, where we break down how tech products take over the world or crash and burn trying. Today's subject, Duolingo, the language learning app that started as an innocent educational tool and somehow became a gamified obsession featuring an angry green owl hunting people down for skipping Spanish class. By the end of this video, you'll know how Duolingo went from a university project to a billion-dollar business, while learning a language has nothing to do with why most people use it, how gamification turned Duolingo into a daily habit for millions, and why Duolingo's free model isn't really free anymore, what every product manager can learn from Duolingo's growth and monetization strategy. Let's get into it. Our story starts at Carnegie Mellon University in 2009. Professor Louis von Ahn, already known for creating CAPTCHA, had a new idea, a free way to learn languages while simultaneously translating the internet. The original model, users would translate real text as they practiced a new language, and companies would pay for those translations. Basically, free labor disguised as education. The idea was genius, but as you have probably noticed, Duolingo doesn't ask you to translate Wikipedia anymore. So what happened? They quickly realized two things. People wanted to learn languages, but they didn't want to work for it. The real money wasn't in translations, it was in keeping users hooked. So they changed direction. Instead of making people translate actual content, they built an app that felt like a game, and that's when things really took off. Duolingo didn't just teach languages, it turned language learning into a mobile game. XP points, streaks, leaderboards. Suddenly, missing a lesson wasn't just skipping practice, it was a losing progress. Daily reminders featuring an increasingly passive-aggressive owl, because nothing motivates learning like guilt and mild psychological intimidation.
You know, I wasted everyone's money, I wasted everyone's everything, and I feel bad. You don't think I feel bad?
HUD system, a life-based mechanic that punishes mistakes like you are playing an arcade game. This wasn't just a fun gimmick, this was behavioral psychology in action, exploiting human habits in creation of addiction, and it worked. Duolingo became the most downloaded education app in the world, and users weren't learning languages because they needed to, they were doing it to keep that little flame next to their streak from going out. But here is what really interesting. Duolingo's gamification wasn't just a random feature set, it was carefully designed by product teams specializing in habit formation. The company heavily relied on the hook model, a framework that focuses on rigor, notifications, streaks, and reminders constantly nudging the user to engage. Action, the ease of doing just one quick lesson, keeps engagement frictionless. Variable rewards, getting XP points, unlocking achievements, and climbing leadership boards makes users crave the next session. Investments, the more a user engages, the harder it is to stop. Internally, Duolingo had dedicated product teams working solely on retention, engagement, and habit-building mechanics. Data scientists, behavioral psychologists, and UX designers work together to optimize features like A/B testing of different notification tones, analyzing streak dropout points, what day in a streak do most people quit, a personalization of lesson difficulty, how much frustration is too much before users quit, seasonal gamification tweaks, limited time challenges like holiday streak events to push retention. Their core philosophy: Duolingo wasn't just selling education, it was selling habit formation. Retention skyrocketed, but there was still one problem. How do you make money off a free app?
Where the hell is she getting the money from?
For years, Duolingo stuck to its free forever model. No ads, no premium features, just pure learning. Then reality hit, investors wanted revenue. The translation model was that free users don't pay the bills, so Duolingo introduced ads, premium subscriptions, and in-app purchases. By 2020, Duolingo had over 40 million active users per month, but less than 5% were paying customers. The challenge? Convincing people to pay for something they had used for free for years. To solve this, Duolingo's product teams focused on three strategies: friction-based monetization, the HUD system limited free users' mistakes, making them consider paying to continue lessons. Psychological pricing, Duolingo Plus, later Super, was positioned as a small price to pay to maintain streaks, dynamic ad placements. Instead of random ads, Duolingo personalized ad frequency based on user engagement. The pivot worked. By 2023, Duolingo's subscription revenue exceeded 500 million annually. However, success came with backlash. Hardcore users started complaining about aggressive upsells, constant reminders to upgrade, had system criticism, seen as a way to frustrate free users into paying, lack of real improvements. Some felt Duolingo focused on monetization over better learning methods. The company had to find a balance. While revenue skyrocketed, maintaining user trust became an ongoing battle. How far can you push monetization before users revolt? That's a question Duolingo still wrestles with today. Duolingo wasn't satisfied with just languages. Like every app that gets too big for its original purpose, it started expanding into everything. Now Duolingo teaches math, music, and even literacy skills. And because every modern tech company needs to shoehorn AI into its product, Duolingo has AI-powered chatbots to help you practice conversations. Somewhere along the way, the app stopped just being an educational tool and became a full-fledged media brand. They even launched Duolingo Max, a premium service powered by GPT-4, because apparently even AI needs to trip you about skipping lessons. But Duolingo wasn't just expanding its product line, it was expanding its brand presence in ways no other educational platform had yet. The company turned its mascot, the passive-aggressive green owl, into a viral marketing machine. Duolingo's social media team became infamous for its unhinged and bizarrely entertaining TikTok strategy. Instead of boring corporate updates, they leaned into absurd humor, mocking users, making fun of themselves, and playing up the aggressive, threatening all stereotype. The result? Millions of followers and tens of millions of viewers. They didn't just stop at viral videos. Duolingo collaborated with companies like HBO to teach users High Valerian for Game of Thrones and created bizarre ad stunts like placing their mascot in front of corporate offices, threatening employees who skip their daily lessons. The owl was no longer just an in-app presence, it became a meme, a plush toy, and even a part of Duolingo's real-world marketing campaigns. They launched pop-up events, released branded merchandise, and even experimented with live language learning meetups. However, with great virality comes great risks. Duolingo's chaotic social media presence was a double-edged sword. While it boosted brand recognition, some questioned whether an education app should be focusing more on content quality rather than jokes. The company's heavy focus on engagement metrics over actual learning effectiveness led to discussions about whether Duolingo was more of a marketing machine than an actual educational tool. Despite the debates, one thing was clear: Duolingo had successfully gamified not just language learning, but its entire brand presence. And in today's digital economy, that kind of attention translates into revenue.
Jobs, revenue, exciting new public works projects.
So where does Duolingo go from here? Right now, their product management teams are focused on three major areas of expansion: more AI integration, chatbots, smart tutors, and auto-generated lessons. Expanding into schools, because making kids learn through gamification is easier than traditional teaching. Launching new subjects, they already have math and music, what's next? Duolingo for coding. But expanding isn't easy. Each new area presents unique challenges for Duolingo's product teams. For example, the integration of AI-driven tutors requires constant optimization. The product team faces a difficult balance: how much automation is too much. If AI becomes too powerful, it could reduce human engagement, but if it's too weak, users won't see the value in the premium subscription model. Meanwhile, their school initiative presents an entirely different challenge: adapting Duolingo's highly gamified format into structured educational curriculums. Teachers often push back against excessive gamification, preferring structured lesson plans. The product teams need to design custom features that bridge the gap between engagement and serious education. And then there is Duolingo's biggest risk, feature creep. As they add more subjects like math and music, there is a risk that the core experience, language learning, gets diluted. The company's product roadmap has to carefully navigate user retention, ensuring that existing users stay engaged while new subjects bring in fresh audiences. The big question remains, can Duolingo keep users engaged without pushing them into aggressive monetization? If they overdo it, people might finally uninstall the app instead of just ignoring their daily reminder. While Duolingo dominates the language learning market, it is far from being unchallenged. Competitors like Babbel, Rosetta Stone, and Busuu take different approaches that challenge Duolingo's gamification-first model. Babbel focuses on structured learning paths and claims to provide more effective conversational practice. Their product management approach involves curriculum designers and language experts creating personalized study plans. Unlike Duolingo's free-flowing lessons, Babbel users follow a structured syllabus, increasing completion rates and real-life language application. Rosetta Stone continues to promote full immersion learning, appealing to serious learners. Its product team prioritizes linguistic accuracy, ensuring that users learn in an environment that mimics natural language acquisition. They use speech recognition technology to refine pronunciation, an area where Duolingo is weaker. Busuu integrates real-world speaking practice with native speakers, something Duolingo lacks. Their PM teams leverage community-driven learning, allowing users to get corrections and feedback from fluent speakers. This approach significantly improves controversial fluency, a common complaint among Duolingo users. Beyond direct competitors, AI-powered tutors like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini threaten to disrupt the industry by offering dynamic, conversation-based learning. These AI models have adaptive learning capabilities where they adjust difficulty levels in real time based on user performance, something that Duolingo's static lesson structure doesn't offer yet. Some AI-powered apps also integrate instant translation and contextual learning, features that could make traditional language apps obsolete. Duolingo's product team has had to analyze competitor strategies and adapt accordingly. Recently, they have introduced AI-powered chat features and more structured lesson paths, taking inspiration from Babbel and AI tutors. However, their focus remains on habit formation rather than deeper language mastery. As these competitors evolve, Duolingo faces a critical question: can gamification alone keep users engaged, or will they eventually move on to more immersive solutions? The coming years will reveal whether Duolingo can maintain its dominance or if users will seek out more real-world applicable learning experiences.
You know nothing about the real world.
So what can we learn from Duolingo's journey? Whether you are a product manager, a startup founder, or just a user wondering why that green owl is so persistent, here are the biggest takeaways. Gamification works until it doesn't. Duolingo mastered the art of making learning feel like a game. But when engagement mechanics become more important than the product itself, users start to push back. Free models are great, but monetization must be planned early. Duolingo's transition to premium subscriptions and ads worked, but it took years to get there. Many startups fail because they don't plan for revenue soon enough. AI will change education forever. Duolingo's future lies in adaptive learning, AI tutors, and personalization. The companies that perfect these experiences will lead the next era of online education. Brand matters. The Duolingo owl is an internet legend, and its viral marketing strategy has kept it culturally relevant. Sometimes a great brand can be just as valuable as a great product. At the end of the day, Duolingo is a case study in product evolution, starting as a free tool, pivoting into gamification, struggling with monetization, and now expanding into AI and broad education. The question remains, is Duolingo making people fluent or just making them feel guilty about skipping a lesson?
Well, we all make mistakes.
Let me know what do you think in the comments, and don't forget, if you skip subscribing, the owl might come after you.